One decision, 5 days. What if that's all that separated you from a richer, fuller life? What if you knew that? Would you hesitate, procrastinate, or would you clear your calendar? I want to challenge the way you've been responding to your creative impulses. I'm talking about your talents. And please, don't try to tell me you don't have any. Every single one of us comes into this world with certain abilities, certain facilities that belong to no one else. Like any seed, they can and will germinate, sprout, grow, and flourish with nurturing. But also like any seed, they can and will remain dormant for as long as we let them, and even die within us without that nurturing. What do I know about this? Well, I came that close to the worst case scenario. I've been a writer since I could scratch out my name with a number 2 pencil on that kindergarten paper with the dotted blue lines. At age 7, I wrote this series of little storybooks for my mother. She cherished those things and encouraged me to make more. In junior high school, I made a series of comic books for my friends. They said awesome and encouraged me to make more. In college, I wrote short stories for a creative writing class. The professor pulled me aside and encouraged me to make more. While still in school, I worked part-time at a very traditional and established formal wear shop near campus. The owner had been renting and selling tuxedos for more than 40 years. My co-workers there were such a diverse and eccentric cast of characters. So much interpersonal drama and conflict within those walls, and the writer within me just couldn't stop thinking, there's a story here. There's an epic story. But then my childhood, my youth, segued into adulthood with all of its harsh realities. And the cheerleaders for my talent went silent. I married, graduated, moved on to bigger jobs to pay bigger bills, started climbing corporate ladders. No one was looking for words from me anymore. It was my time and what I consider to be lesser talents that were in demand from the world. The very idea of writing a novel became far-fetched, future state, archived in the back of my mind like something buried under a thick layer of encryption, labeled someday. Maybe someday. Well, fast forward 20 years, 3 kids, 2 mortgages, 2 job promotions. That book is still in the back of my mind. But I'm looking at a 5-day Thanksgiving weekend. And there's nothing on the calendar except dinner at Grandma's house on Thursday afternoon. There's a big part of me that's looking forward to that relaxing weekend of watching football games, taking long naps, maybe digesting a gut-busting turkey dinner in peace and comfort, like everyone else in America. But there is another part of me, a smaller part, but a part for which I'm eternally grateful, that piped up out of nowhere in a desperate, shrill ultimatum. Mike, it said, are you seeing what I'm seeing here? 5 days. They're yours. They're clear. Now you either write this freaking book, or I swear to you we're going to delete it and we're going to let it go forever. Well, I had nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. and no excuses left. I also had nowhere to go, so I grabbed my laptop and sat down at the kitchen table and just asked my wife and kids to pretend like I wasn't there. Somehow they sensed how important this was to me. And I love them for this, but they gave me my space right there in the middle of the Cheerios and the homework assignments. I started Wednesday morning, and I didn't stop until late Sunday night when I tapped out those final words, "the end." Here's the result: a 280-page published novel with 5-star reviews on Amazon, thousands of copies sold. Now, I don't want to mislead anyone into thinking that all the work of writing that book was done during those 5 days. Far from it. I would rewrite the entire thing at least 2 more times and spend countless hours editing and polishing that manuscript, which, by the way, was rejected by 7 different publishers before it finally found a contract more than a year later. But you know what? None of that mattered, because I was never once tempted to give up on what I had created during those 5 days. My identity had shifted. I was no longer the introverted victim of no time, no support, no love for my talent, no energy for my writing. I had become an author. I had become a finisher. I had a new sense of adventure, a new spirit of courage about me. And the power of those 5 days went far beyond this book. It changed me in ways that went far beyond writing. Since then, I've climbed most of the 11,000-foot peaks in the Wasatch Mountains. I've trained for and run 2 marathons and at least a dozen other races. I prepared and taught a seminar at a writing conference. And this may be the scariest of all, but I auditioned for, acted, sang, and danced the lead role in a community musical production. Finished a master's degree at the age of 50. And you know what? I'm just getting started. But I really want to make this about you right now. What is it that you have within you that needs outing? What is in the back of your mind encrypted that only you have the password for? Where is your kitchen table? And what do you need to put on that table? I'm begging you, don't you dare leave a gaping hole in this world in the exact shape of what you're holding back. You know, it's so obvious and it's such a cliche that as a creative person, I'm almost uncomfortable saying it out loud. You've probably heard it so many times from those who love and care for you most that maybe you've even stopped listening. But I'm going to say it, and I want it to hit you in a new and different way, right here, right now. You can do whatever you set your heart and mind to. One decision, 5 days.
If your heart rate increased just a little when you considered what you could do with a firm decision and 5 days committed to creating something beautiful and meaningful, please drop down to the description of this video for more information on some free guidance for your own 5-day challenge. Sure, you could do it on your own, like I did for my first time. but I wish I'd had someone with me as a guide for that first time. It could have saved me years. I wish you the best in your creative journey.